The news has improved in many ways. Today, it is much more accessible. For example, with much better technology, the news can be heard on the radio, seen on TV, or even on the computer. Even though it's not thrown onto your yard anymore, newspapers are still available and for a little cost. For the most part, news channels and radio are free, and to get a newspaper at a store, gas station, or restaurant, the cost is little to none. Modern journalists do not require professional training. Anyone can have an opinion and write about it. To get positive attention, and a lot of it, you're going to want to have the best practice and know what people want. You could be good at a certain type of journalism. For example, there are features and straight news. Newspapers are often features, where attention is paid more to style. Magazines are also features. They are usually longer and show more color. Straight news usually gets right to the point. You can hear both styles on the radio and TV. In features like newspapers or news on the TV, the topic a lot of the time is what's going on in society. From crimes to traffic, maybe even sports. On the radio, a lot of the news is college or pro sports, with maybe a traffic or weather update every once in a while. In things like magazines, it's something that'll spark your interest. For example, celebrity drama, home tips, or recipes. Journalism is very important today. A lot of people can only get news and information from journalism. Imagine not having news channels, newspapers, access to sports scores, etc. A lot of stuff you hear today is when you're listening to the radio on your way to school, watching the news at dinner, or reading a magazine while in the waiting room. Just think about not knowing the weather for future dates, or if something dangerous was happening in your community. A problem with news media is it could scare people. Things like terrorism and murders frighten people, not to mention it could be false. Anyone can have an opinion, so you can't always trust it. A lot of features in magazines are fake or rumors. Many journalists want people to read it, so they make it as interesting as they can. Sometimes they'll over-exaggerate or make stuff up. But most features on the news, with footage to back it up, are true. There is a difference between lying and false accusations. A good example is the weather. Overall, modern journalism is much needed in the world today. It isn't hard to write about something you have a strong opinion on. Many people can be journalists. As you can see, journalism will only continue to grow.